All right, good morning, my beautiful people. The Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. We are back in the building. This is ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, and we are going through the 15 laws of invaluable growth. Today, we are starting to pick up with the law number 3, which is the law of the mirror. You must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. You must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. We got a co-host here, Mr. Dotar Eliza. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Mr. Evan. And good morning to everyone on the call. It's the third law, the law of the mirror. You must see value in yourself and add value to yourself.
Must see value in yourself. So we're gonna be talking about self-esteem. We're talking about looking in the mirror, man. At the end of the day, and we got a quote from Dennis Waitley. He said, "Personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, the time, and the energy needed to develop yourself." That personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, the time, and the energy to develop yourself. Man, are you worth the effort, the time, and the energy? I know I sure am. I know that when I went on my journey of personal development, I never stopped, and I'm still on it today. And we're hoping that we can encourage some other people to take that journey, take that leap into the realm of personal development, self-development. Man, when you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, you'll find yourself going to amazing places. When you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, you'll find yourself going to amazing places. Mr. Dotar.
Yeah, self-image, self-esteem is something that we have to deal with in terms of the value we place on ourselves is the kind of value people will place on us. It's not going to be higher. The currency we place on ourselves is the currency that people will use in relating to us. So it's very important that we do not place a low self-esteem on ourselves when it comes to the law of the mirror here, because that's how people will also relate with us when they are dealing with us. And it's very important that we know that when there's this low self-esteem, it actually hinders us from reaching our full potential, because then we are thinking less of ourselves. And when we are thinking less of ourselves, then that means we begin to discount our abilities in certain things that we can do, which isn't really, really great. So I would say that, we should really believe in ourselves. We should know that the seeds of greatness have been planted in us, and there's nothing that should hinder us from going full all out to reach our potential. But most times we are our own worst critic. And because we're our own worst critic, right, we just feel, oh, okay, I really cannot do this. Yes, we can do this. Yes, we have all it takes for us to really achieve the level of success that we are looking for in life. So there should be no room for us to have a low self-esteem, thinking that, okay, I'm not just fit for this. And again, that comes on with the fact that when we begin to compare ourselves with other people, then we'll feel less of ourselves. And if we feel less of ourselves, that's how people will take us as well. Mr. Evan.
Yeah, God don't make no junk. So here's the deal, man. When you look into the mirror, what do you see? When you look into the mirror, what do you see? And as a coach, and I know some of us, we work with a lot of people. A lot of us do. Man, it's sad to see people who can't accept their very own good. They can't even accept their very own good. And so the way in which they see themselves, it keeps them at this ceiling for themselves. It's their own limitation on how they see themselves, on how successful they can be, on how far that they can go, how they actually look at themselves. And so when they look at themselves in the mirror, they may be thinking, as it talked in the book, they may be thinking, hey, I want a 10. I want the very best that God has for me. I want it all, right? But in their mind, as they see themselves, they can only see a 5. And so there's no way that they have room to receive the 10 because they can only see the 5 for themselves. And so we become what we think about and how we see ourselves, how we see what we are able to have, be, do, or create. That's exactly how far we'll be able to go. Mr. Beatles is in the building.
What's going on, everybody? Man, I know I got some I may have some background noise. I'm in motion this morning on my way up to Alpharetta, but I wanted to make sure that I jumped on, man. I had to whatever. God don't make no jump. That's at the end of the day, that's really what this whole presentation is about. What the Healthy Happy People. Just wanted to introduce myself right quick. This is Mr. Beatles, your neighborhood financial planner and small business developer. And I was listening to a presentation by Neville Garter this morning. Old sage in the game, one of the first in the personal development field. But Neville, he was talking about imagination and reflection. And he says that your reality is based on what you can imagine. What we get caught up in is what is real currently. So we get caught up in what we've already created, not understanding that if you go back to the drawing table, if you redesign your blueprints, what you begin understanding is that everything that is created that you can actually see, touch, taste, smell, it all started in the mind first, which is a powerful, powerful thing. So when we're talking about mirroring or the reflection of your soul, you have to be able to look inside of yourself and determine what is it that you see. And if you don't like what it is that you see, the beautiful thing is that you have the power to affect change in your own life. And it starts with you being able to use this up here, which is the most powerful tool of creation.
Absolutely. And so one of the first questions that came up in the reading was, why do many people fail to grow and reach their potential? Why do many people fail to grow and reach their potential? And it was saying that, one of the reasons is because of low self-esteem. And so I guess one of the good questions to ask this panel is, if you found yourself in a place where you didn't believe that greatness was available to you, what was it that helped you to overcome that limiting belief for yourself? What did you go through? What did you transpire? How did you transform from a place of a limitation to a place of unlimited possibilities? Because that was a mind shift. That was a way that you see yourself. That's a way to see yourself in this world. That's a way that you see yourself in the mirror. So how did you transform into seeing value in yourself so that you could add value to yourself? Mr. Dotar.
Yeah. How do we place ourselves how do we place on ourselves is, the value we place on ourselves, as I said, is usually the value other people place on us. It's not going to change. It's not going to be higher. And so the way we sort of present ourselves to the world is the same way people will accept us. And so it's very important for us to have the proper mindset to have a shift in our mindset in such a way that people take us for who we are, really for who we are, and not for what we present ourselves to be. Because the way it happens is a sense that if I say, I'm just this little guy, I'm going to be treated in a little way. If I put myself up there, I project myself up there in a very high fashion, that's the same way people would measure up to the image I've presented for myself. So it's not really going to change. And here it says people are never able to outperform their self-image. That's the truth. The image that you see of yourself is what you are projecting out. And that's how people will relate to you when they are coming across to you to say, okay, this is what we feel of you, because that's what you've put across to them. It's not really going to change. It's not going to be they're not going to give you a higher currency. So if I put a small value of myself, then be rest assured that the world will treat you the same way. Mr. Ivan.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, even when you think about maybe the products or services that you offer, right? Are you giving to the world that type of value, right? So that your this thing that you're doing is at least $300. This is the type of value that you're giving. But but you're only charging, $50 for it. It's like, when you're putting it out there to that value, saying that, hey, just so I can give it away for the most part, are you really doing yourself a disservice? And I think sometimes that's what businesses, especially starting out, that's what we do. We say, hey, this is the way that I compete, by giving away all of my value. And I think that's a very interesting place to be when it comes to how do you value your product or service? How do you value what you're bringing to the world? And are you willing to ask for the value which that you're giving away, the value that you're bringing into the lives of other people? Mr. Beatles.
It does. When we start thinking about giving, the giving piece of our mission, what we have to understand is that in order for us to give to the world first, we have to always be looking to give back. We have to always be looking to give to ourselves. It's very difficult for us to make a deposit into somebody else if there's nothing in our own bank account. And so emotionally, we have to be just as invested in our own success as we are in somebody else's. And what we find is that the reason why we have some of the challenges that we have in our relationships and our careers and our professions, and we have the same challenges, the same failures over and over again, is simply because we have failed to make that emotional investment in ourselves first. And so what we are reflecting into the world is a lot of failure, and that failure is coming back. And so we're unhappy in relationship after relationship. We have to start businesses over. And again, it's because what is at the crux of the matter is that we have not yet made the investment in ourselves, added value to who we are, and then from that place be able to.
Yeah, so it's almost like, guys, it's like a daily thing, right? When you wake up in the morning, you get your day started, you look in the mirror, do you say that, I'm great, I'm awesome, today's going to be an awesome day? I mean, when you really look at yourself and look at what you're doing, look at the contribution that you're making to the world, well, how do you really see that? Because the value that you place on yourself, I mean, that is what you'll have come to you. And so many people, they just don't value themselves. They're doing a great thing. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing some awesomeness to the world, but they themselves don't see the awesomeness. Maybe because they're in the moment, maybe because they're inside of it. They don't see it for themselves. And so it's like, man, other people may be able to see it, but because they don't place the value on themselves, then they don't really see they really aren't able to receive all the awesomeness that they're actually putting out. And so we really want to start to evaluate, man, what is this awesomeness? What is this greatness that I'm putting out into the world, so that I can really truly value what I bring, and then I can accept the value that I bring, because this is all about an exchange. It's all about an exchange. And I talk about money a lot. You guys know I'm a certified financial educator. I talk about exchanging value for value. Well, in this case, we're talking about the value of you as a person, as a human being, as a personality, and the exchange that you have with other people. See, some of us, we think that the way that we think that the world is against us, right? And if you think that the world is against you, then yes, the world is against you. How you perceive it is how you will receive it. But there's other people that say that the world is my oyster. Well, yes, if you think that the world is your oyster, the world is your oyster. You're going to find pearls all over the land. How do you value yourself, and how do you see the world? Because the way in which you perceive it, and we know that perception is reality. However you perceive it, that is your reality. It doesn't necessarily make it the truth, but it makes it your reality, and that's the reality that you have to live with. But here's the great news, guys. You can change the way in which you see the world. See, the world won't change until you change. When you change, then the world will change. The world that you live in, the world that you are maneuvering in, your circle will change. So the question is, if you find yourself in a place where you're not really liking what you're seeing, you're not liking the world that you're in, you're saying that this is a terrible place, a horrible place, I'm saying that it's time for you to change. Change the way you think, change the way you feel about yourself, get around some people that's going to help you be positive, a great place like this to get your day started. Because the way in which you see the world is ultimately how your world is. Mr. Dotar.
Yeah, change the way you see the world, and then the world will change the way it sees you.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we sort of like mold into is probably our upbringing. So for some people, they may have grown up in an environment where there was so much expectation placed on them. Parental expectation, and then because of that, they've sort of like gotten into that self-limiting belief. If parents were too hard on them growing up, right? They then tend to see the world that way, because then it's like, okay, I'm always thinking, yeah, this is how dad talked about me, this is how mom talked about me, so that's really who I am, and that's the way. If my parents can see me this way, then definitely the world even sees me even probably in a more critical light. But it's never really so, because depending on what the culture is, for those who came from that kind of background, again, it's not that the parents were like maybe hating the child, but they just wanted the best from the child, and the child who is now an adult needs to realize that they just wanted the best for you at that point in time. And so you need to move away from that and then just begin to see yourself for who you really are. Yes, your parents want you to be this, but what do you want for yourself as well? And you need to then project that into the world and accept the world at that level of who you really are. And then just give it your best. Give it your best. Here it says that guide your self-talk. So stop thinking too low of yourself, but think of yourself as someone who already has a seed of greatness in them, who already has a seed of success in them, and who has something that the world needs. Something that the world needs. So disconnect from me, and connect to what the opportunities that you have out there to make a difference in the world. I think that could be the key of shifting that mindset. Now it's gone. Parental expectation is gone. Now you are yourself, and live up to that expectation, knowing that you have something great inside of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I had reached out actually to Mr. Beatles this weekend, maybe yesterday, the day before, and then told him about some great things that were happening. And his response was, "It's exactly what's supposed to happen." So Mr. Beatles, man, you want to talk to us about upgrading your software, reprogramming, expecting greatness, expecting things to happen when you're putting things out into the world. You want to talk to us about that a little bit?
Absolutely. I was that revelation for me. It came from Conor McGregor, and Conor, he was being interviewed, and somebody was saying, one of the reporters was asking him. He said, "Look, man, with all the success that you're having, did you imagine it being like this?" And it was such a setup question because I knew what the answer was getting ready to be. I knew the answer was going to be absolutely. It was absolutely what I imagined it to be, because what he is saying is the reason why he's having so much success is because he replays the success over and over in his mind. By the time Conor McGregor, who is a UFC fighter, by the time he gets into the ring, he's already fought this fight thousands of times. He's seen it exactly the way that it was supposed to happen. So the punches, they come exactly how they've seen them. The dodges and the misses, they come exactly how they've seen them. What's so powerful about the mind is that it fires when it use the mind, and I might be getting ready to paraphrase this incorrectly, but when you use the mind has the same chemical, it fires the same chemical or physical reactions that you would as if you were actually doing it. So when you so the success that we have today is what you imagine. So don't be surprised when it shows up. Don't be surprised when the $1 million idea shows up. Don't be surprised when the business grows and explodes exactly like you. Don't be surprised when the book actually is a bestseller, because you already imagined it. You already said that it was going to happen. Now walk into it expecting that it is going to become your reality.
Absolutely. So, guys, are you already imagining a great day today? Are you already imagining a great week today? Are you already imagining a great month and a great year? And see, what are you putting in front of you? What are you seeing? See, my life changed when I tell people this. My life really started to take off when I made a decision to turn the TV off, and I let my dreams become my television. I'm gonna repeat that again. My life really took off when I turned the television off, and then let my dreams become my television. Why? Because now I can see myself in all of the action movies. I can see myself in all of the drama and the suspense. I can see myself in the thrillers. I can see myself overcoming. My dreams became my television, and that is what I look forward to seeing each and every day. Are you living your dreams? Are you living your dreams? And are you already living it before you actually see it in reality? See, there's some of you guys that got some tasks that you got to get done today. There's some of you guys that are working on some projects. Can you already see those projects done? And can you see them at their greatness when you complete them? What is it that you see? How is it that you perceive the things that you need to get done, the person that you will become as you actually become it? And so I guess you got Sam the Soul. Are you new here? Did you want to jump into a seat? I know that we had Jolie that tried to jump in. We only got one seat open, so I'll open it up for you guys. If somebody wants to jump in. First come, first serve. If you got some things that you like to share about the law of the mirror, you must see yourself. You must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. Got Sam the Soul Stylist coming in the building. There she is. No volume. You got to unmute. See if you can unmute yourself. You might be your first time. We can't hear you yet.
I think she's on mute or something. We can hear you.
You want to try to come back in? Jump out and jump back in, see if it works. Oh, Mr. Beatles, you on mute too.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I heard you. I hear you now. See if she'll come back in. Yeah, so try to come back in, Miss Sam.
Can you hear
Hey, good morning.
me? Good morning. This is so cool. This is my first blast. Thank you for the invite. I love the message that you guys are sharing.
You got a slow connection. You must be on somebody else's Wi-Fi. trying to steal that Wi-Fi. Yeah, you were there. I heard you. I don't know. Is it Blab that's messing up?
It might be Mr. Dotar done dropped.
Yeah, she on Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me? Mic check.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, we got 6 minutes. Let her come back in.
Yeah, we got 6 minutes left. So we're talking about still on the law of the mirror, man. So basically, you want to look at yourself in the mirror. You want to have an honest assessment about what you see for yourself, where you are right now and how you see yourself. When we say, how do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Do you have some self-confidence? Do you believe that great things are supposed to happen for you? What is it that you say to yourself, and how do you really see yourself? Hey, Sam.
Okay, sound like something about to happen. Mic check.
Oh, no. I had to try tomorrow. Dotar's trying to come back in as well. There he is.
Oh, man, we in South Africa today, man. Nice.
Yeah, she got to get close to her router.
Yeah.
All right, so Miss Biz, do some shout-outs, man.
All right. Let's see who we got, man. We of course we got Mr. Dotar in the building, the management consultant CPA. Shout out to Mr. Dotar. We also have Raquel, the 6 o'clock Oh, nice. 6 o'clock. I like that. I like that. Social media SME and entrepreneur. Who else do we have? We also have Zuri, the poet, the activist, the aspiring journalist. Her IG is BLKFZCE. Who else do we have? We have Jonathan Cooper. He is an entrepreneur, visionary, digital marketing specialist, HBCU. Hey, my wife has a HBCU book that we might need your help with. There, Jonathan Cooper. Let's see. We also have Jolene. What's going on? Let me follow you. We have, let me see. As I shout you out, just put where you are in the country or in the world. Where are you in the world right now? As I shout you out. Then we have the lovely Sam Welton. She has a new book that she's just releasing called "You Can't Kick Ass in Broken Heels." I love that title. You can't kick ass in broken heels. And we got, of course, the illustrious Evan ERGJ Jefferson. We have Patrick Smart, Market SEO. He continues to bring new customers to his clients by implementing successful strategies that tap into the power of the web. And we have, of course, Robert E. Lewis, FHA, VA, USDA, conventional home buying. He's got to be a loan guy. Got to be the guy with the money. That's Robert Lewis. I mean, that's Robert Lewis right there.
So, guys, we're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. And this is the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Network. It's the network for growing people. We do this, obviously we're on the East Coast
network.
To get our day started.
Yeah, the number one for growing people. I just wanted to clear that up.
Say that again.
It's the number one market for growing people.
Okay. Yeah, the number one market for growing people. And so we started the show, Mr. B, about 3 months ago? I don't know.
Yeah, about that. About 3 months ago now.
Yeah, about 3 months ago. We started with the Stranger Secret. We moved on to the Alchemist, and now we're on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. And it's all about growing, guys. It's all about sharing one another. It's not a me show. It's a we show. So we also have, I just see opportunities for you to come in and share your experience. And hopefully as we go through the law of the mirror, now, because we're going to start talking about how you can build your self-image. That's going to be the next 3 days. We're going to be talking about that. What steps that you can take to build your self-image if for some reason you might find you might not even realize that you don't have a positive self-image. That could be the case. You might really just walk around thinking that everything's great for you in your mind, but you still have some limiting beliefs. And so we're going to be talking about how you can build your self-image over the next 3 days. So, and then on Friday, we're going to have Fan Friday where you can share your experience from what we went through this week. And so, you want to follow us, be here every day if you can. We'll be here. The question is, will you, as we go through the law of the mirror? We really want to build our self-image because how we see ourselves, how far that we can go, all has to do with how we can see, how far we can see, and how far we can see ourselves. So when it comes to growth, your image that you see for yourself is super important. That you see yourself as great. That you see yourself as able to have all these things that you dream of. Some of us can't accept our own good. And I want to make sure that everybody that we touch, that you truly can accept the good that's coming your way. Mr. Dotar, any last words for the peeps?
Yeah, the way we see ourselves is the way the world will take us. So as we go through this, it's very important. I think our takeaway today is to reevaluate where we are as individuals. Am I shortchanging myself? Am I thinking too little of myself? I need to move away from that and begin to see the seeds of greatness that is already inside of me, the seeds of success that is already inside of me. Because the world needs that. We need not be the best kept secret any longer. The world needs to have a little bit of the seed of greatness that is already in us and the seeds of success.
Absolutely. The world is waiting on your greatness. We need your greatness. Each and every person here. Think about this for a second. If you were to tap into your highest potential and you brought that to the world, if each and every one of us, the 11 people that are here right now, how much greater, how much change could we make in the world if we all brought our own individual greatness? I'm talking about to the highest level, the highest capacity that is within us. If each and every one of us brought that to the world, how much greater, how much impact on the world could we make? That's why we have a network. That's why you don't have to do it alone. That's why we're going through this process together. Mr. Beatles, man, any last words for the peeps and sign us out?
Oh, for today, I would say that the your mission, if you choose to accept, is to guard your self-talk. Guard your self-talk. Make sure that what you are saying to yourself today are things that are going to uplift and empower you. And when you feel the negative emotions start to set in, whether it's you need to make this phone call, this important phone call today, you need to attack that chicken list, you need to send out 15 business cards, you need to reach out to new clients, you need to review old you need to review old accounts, whatever those things are today, know that everything that you set your mind to is going to work, is going to be successful. And if it's anything contrary to that, you know that you're out of alignment. You need to get right back into alignment. All right. So guard your self-talk. Be amazing today.
All right, guys. So we'll see. Yeah, I know that's right. Great closing remarks. So we will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel on the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show, man. We are wealthy. We are healthy. We are happy.
And we are
out.
We are.
Have a great Monday.